Gentleman from Pennsylvania seek recognition.
Mr. Chairman, I've got an amendment at the desk.
Clerk will designate the amendment.
Amendment number 83, printed in Part B of House Report number 118-602, offered by Mr. Perry of Pennsylvania.
Pursuant to House Resolution 1370, the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Perry, and a member opposed, each will control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This amendment strikes the funding for the Council on Environmental Quality. Now, it sounds lofty and awesome. The Council on Environmental Quality was created by the National Environmental Policy Act in 1969 to advance environmental policies and to meet requirements under NEPA. Now, of course, it's duplicative because now we have the EPA. You know, we create a new agency, but we never get rid of the other agency, and they both do the same thing. But this one, supercharged now under this administration, has tasked the CEQ with developing policies on climate change, environmental justice, federal sustainability, all while creating more paperwork under NEPA that the previous administration actually worked to reverse. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, these policies are what are holding America back. Onerous NEPA requirements and state-level laws like those in California are holding back countless programs and construction projects around the country. You can't get anything permitted. Things take years upon years. People say, why does it take too long? This is why. They are also part of the left's apparatus that aims to shift America's entire way of life by meeting unscientific emission goals. They're not scientific. They're created out. They're political goals. They're not scientific goals. As written, the Department of Energy's own estimate for their gas stove rule show that only 4% of gas stoves available on the market today meet the new standard, essentially forcing Americans to choose electric stoves without any. It's not based on science. They just want you to use electricity, not gas. And so they come up with the metrics. This is part of this Council on Environmental Quality. We don't need them. We've got the EPA. We don't need the duplication. I urge support and I reserve.
Gentleman reserves. For purposes of the gentlelady from Maine rise?
I seek time in opposition to this amendment.
Gentlelady is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This amendment eliminates the funding for the Council on Environmental Quality. The office is responsible for coordinating the federal government's efforts to improve, preserve, and protect Americans' public health and environment. It also works to ensure that environmental reviews for infrastructure projects and federal actions are thorough, efficient, and reflect the input of the public and local communities. This amendment would hobble the office and result in significant delays to infrastructure projects around the country. I oppose this amendment, and I reserve.
Gentlelady reserves. Gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't know about significant delays. We're already experiencing significant delays. All these construction projects takes decades to complete something. And so if we're going to just keep doing the same thing, which apparently that's what the gentlelady on the other side of the aisle wants to do, we're going to continue to experience significant delays. Maybe this isn't the answer. I'd be happy to hear what the answer is if it's not this. But doing the same thing isn't going to change anything. And that's what we're looking to do, is make it more efficient. The EPA can do this work. The EPA should do this work. We don't need both these agencies at the same time duplicating each other's efforts and wasting American tax dollars. I reserve.
Gentleman reserved. The gentlelady from Maine.
I reserve.
Gentlelady from Maine reserves. Gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized.
I urge adoption. I yield the balance.
Gentleman yields back. Gentlelady from Maine.
Yield back.